Hey everybody, what's up and welcome back to the channel. And I did something I didn't think I was going to do. I bought the Crosman 100-year anniversary 362 pump air rifle. So let's get into it and I'm going to tell you what I think about it. All right, everybody, welcome back to the channel. And yeah, I did a thing. I bought the Crosman 362 limited edition pump air rifle. This is 1213 out of 2023 of them that they're going to make. They're 2023, so 2000, but this is number 1213. So that's 1213. Mine came with a really nice stock. Let me see if you guys can see that. My stock. None of those crazy burn marks, scuffs. Very beautiful stock, so I'm impressed with that. It has the 100-year anniversary logo on it right there. Mine actually looks really, really nice when it comes to the wood stock. Now, there are a couple things here. If you guys notice right here, see if you guys can see, that doesn't quite close flush right there on the bottom. And if you look right here, maybe you can see it better right there at the joint. Let me hold it up there. Doesn't quite be even, but it still closes all the way, so I don't care about that. But that's been a pet peeve of some people. For me, it's not a big deal. But it is a little off. You can feel that little lip there, and you can feel it down here. But I don't care about that. The gun's functional, so that's not a big deal. And the stock looks great. My stock came good. It doesn't have burns. It's nice and smooth. It doesn't have rough spots, except where the checkering stuff is supposed to be. So that's really good. It's got the nice butt pad on it. I'm going to read off the specs to you, and then we're going to talk about this gun for a minute, and then we're going to shoot it. So let me get to the specs, because I know you guys like to hear that stuff. Got to take off my glasses so I can read this. We're going to read this real fast. So this is in .22 caliber. It says the max velocity is 850 feet per second, which is 13.1 foot-pounds. Walnut stock, ambidextrous, single shot, bolt action, pump action, rifled steel barrel, Turkish walnut stock, textured grip pump arm. It's got the fixed blade front sight and rubber butt pad, and it's 5.8 pounds, and it's got the Williams peep sight on the back. There's your specs. Now let's get into this gun. Okay, so for those of you that are curious, this gun is ammo picky. If you guys look right here on the table, you'll see 8 tins of pellets. And I had to go through 8 tins of pellets to find one pellet that works. Now, if you guys watch Ted's holdover video on this, he went through like 30 pellets before he found one. And that pellet that he found was the JSB Jumbo Expresses and the 14.3 which is one of the pellets that does work decent in this gun. The other one that I found is these are the RWS Superdome Field Line in these are the 14.5 grain and .22, which is these right here. And those are the only two that shoot good in this gun. The rest of these suck horrible. It's like shooting a shotgun. Don't waste your time trying. I mean, you can, because maybe your gun will be different. But the only two that I found that shoot good in this gun are these two right here. And I'm going to put a picture of all the pellets up here so you guys can see all the ones that I tested as well. But these are the only two that did it. And out of these two, the RWS edged out the JSBs in my opinion. The JSBs at 20 yards shot a tighter group, and once I stretched it out to 30, the RWS pellets did better. If I said that wrong, the RWS actually did better at 30 yards, and then I brought it back to 25, and the RWS were doing really well at 25, so I zeroed it at 25, and that's the pellet that I settled on for this gun. But I would say either the JSB Jumbo Expresses in this weight or the RWS is the way to go with this gun. Now, your gun may be different. You're going to have to try pellets. I've seen some guys that made videos, and they tried every pellet that they had except these ones that I have right here. And after watching tons of videos on this gun, I started to, because I didn't have these. I actually had to buy these because I didn't even have these in stock. I always keep all these. These work in every other gun I have. But I had to buy these and order some of these to try out because I didn't even have them. So with that being said, I bought 4 tins of each to test out. And RWS is kind of what I zeroed this in on and I'm going with now. And finally got a pellet that would do well. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I was so frustrated with this gun. I was this close, and I mean, squeezed my hand close to calling Pyramid Air and sending this thing back. I was not happy at all. So, but now that I finally found a pellet with it, I'm okay with it, and I'm going to keep it. But I will tell you right now that you guys are definitely going to have to go through a bunch of pellets to find one that works for this gun, because it is pellet picky. And in my case, for my gun, these are the 2 pellets that work in it that I would use in it. And the RWS is the one that is the one that I'm going to run in it now that I know that I've done it. So that was a crazy thing. Now, the other thing I want to talk about this gun is that I hate the Williams peep sight. It sucks. I don't know why people think it's great, but it's horrible. And if you're shooting it in any type of tree cover that's got canopy in overcast conditions, it makes it really hard to see through that. I don't care what anybody says. I don't know why they think this is such a great... And I like peep sights. Don't get me wrong. I actually have shot tons of stuff with peep sights, and I like a peep sight because it gives you a more open thing. But with this sight right here, this glow sight, it really takes away from the target that you're shooting at, and you have a hard time seeing the target. You can see the sight, but you can't see the target picture that you're aiming at. Now, the way I shoot this thing is I use this like a red dot, and I actually cover it up, and I'll show you. I'll show you guys this kind of what I do, and I'll show you again in the end of the video as well. But say this is my sight, my peep sight, and this is my target. Instead of normally holding under here, touching the bottom of your target to 0, I put that sucker right in the center and cover up whatever I'm aiming at, and that's what I do. And that's the only way I can shoot this thing with any kind of accuracy. So I use it like a red dot sight, which is fine, but the sight is not, I don't like it. I don't like it. You may like it. Some people may love it. You may think it's great. I don't like it. And I've shot a lot of tactical rifles and combat rifles, being an ex-military guy and stuff, and used to shoot competition, and this Williams peep sight I don't like. And another reason why I don't like it, another thing you guys need to know, is adjusting this thing is the biggest pain in the ass in the world, because it doesn't have click adjustments like it should. It has these 2 screws here to go your left and right, and has a screw here to go up and down. But when you loosen those up, that thing is just it's just like, it just goes like that. It just goes, so you have to be very careful when you're making your adjustments to get it lined up. And now it has notches on there that you can see, but trying to adjust this thing, it's a pain in the ass. And I've adjusted a lot of sights in my life and done a lot of zeroing in my life, and this thing is a pain in the butt, hands down. And for somebody that's new or younger, that will frustrate you trying to zero that thing. I can tell you that right now. I'm able to do it, but I don't like it, you know, and that's one of the things I don't like. Now, as far as the rest of the build of the gun, I like the gun. I like the fact that it's got the rifle steel barrel. I like the fact that this steel. I like the fact that you can mount a scope on it, which I think a lot of people are going to do, because that's going to give you your best accuracy out of it. The trigger looks cool. It's not like some match grade trigger, so don't think it is. I think from what I understand, people are saying it's about 4 pounds. I don't have a way to test that, so I don't know. But the trigger works fine for me. I just pull it back until it stops, and then I just give it a good pull, and we're off to the races, and I'm doing pretty good. You guys are going to see how well I can shoot it, because I want to keep it with open sights and keep it with this peep sight, and I'm going to keep practicing. But I'm going to tell you right now, there's going to be a little bit of frustration with this gun. I'm not going to sit here and talk about this is the greatest thing in the world and stuff. And I'm also going to tell you that there are other guns out there that are for even at this thing at $3.99 was not worth it. So all you guys that bought it for $3.99, I mean, God love you for doing it and making your reviews, but you guys all know as well as I know that you kind of got screwed because I was high. But I love you guys for doing it. Shout out to those guys that did it. And stuff, and even at $300, it's still too high in my opinion. Still too high. I don't care that it's got a walnut stock and everything. This thing is still too expensive for what it is. In my opinion, it's my opinion, but I think it's too expensive. I mean, I think it's a lot nicer, and I think this is a great idea, but I think it's still way too high. I will say that, and I'm going to show you guys at the end of this video some guns that actually I would recommend over this gun. Now, would I recommend this gun? Well, we're going to get into that at the end of the video, as far as it goes. But if you guys are wondering, I'll just tell you now. If I had to recommend a gun for you guys, it wouldn't be this. I would recommend either a Vyrock HW50S or a Vyrock HW30S. The 30S is $79 more, and the HW50S is about $100 more at the $300 price range. Because the HW30S is like $379 and the HW50S Vyrock is at $400, and those hands down will smoke this thing all day long at farther ranges, pellet on pellet all day long. And I'm going to show you guys that at the end. But anyway, that's enough of me rambling and talking. Let's get into the shooting, and we'll wrap this video up, and you guys can make your own decision, and you guys can tell me what you think. So let's get into some shooting. All right, guys, we're going to test out. These are the RWS Superdome Field Line in 14.5 grain. That's what the pin looks like right there, so you guys can see it. I have been through a whole bunch of pellets so far, and we're not getting one. We're shooting at 20 yards. Just trying to get something that can be accurate, and we're going to talk all about that. 6 pumps. All we're trying to do is get a group. Just trying to get a group. That's one. There's my water on the ground. All right, let's go get that and see. All right, guys, so this is the group we got at 20 yards with the RWS Superdomes. These guys right here, let me show you the 10. These Superdomes right there, so you guys can see. I'll put the thing up here so you guys can see it with the MOA coin as well. This is a 1-inch MOA coin. That'll show you kind of, it's about an inch and a half group at 20 yards. Somewhere in there is what I got. And that's actually one of the best groups I got out of this gun, considering I've tested 8 different types of pellets, and the only other one that's done halfway decent was the JSB Hades, which I'll probably reshoot for you guys so you can see that too. But all the rest of them at 20 yards, it's like you're shooting a shotgun. So anyway, this is what I got. We're going to keep testing. We got some JSB 14s that we're going to try here, and we'll see what we get. So that's what we got so far at 20 yards. All right, guys, we're shooting the JSB 14.35 grain. These are the Jumbo Express Diablos at 20 yards. We're going to see how well that does. I got to tell you, this gun, not impressed with. Not so far. With all these tins of pellets, if you guys see this whole stack of pellets right here, I've used all these tins, and you know, the RWS did better than any of the ones so far. Hopefully these will do a little better, because I'm not impressed with this accuracy yet at all. We're doing 6 pumps. 6 pumps. 6 pumps and just trying to get a group of some sort. Any kind of group we can get that's decent. At 20 yards. There's one. Just trying to get a decent group. 2. There's 3. Four. All right. We might have a winner. Where's your chicken dinner? Let's go get that and see. All right, guys. I think we finally got a pellet out of 8 different pellets. So we finally got one at 20 yards that's working really good. That would be these JSB, these guys right here. These JSB Express, so you guys can see that. This is the group we just got at 20 yards, and you're gonna get a flyer. 4 out of 5 is what I'm going for, and I got 4 in a 1-inch group. That's a 1-inch MOA coin. See if I get my fat finger out of the way so you guys can see that. And I'm gonna put it up here for you guys as well. But that's a 1-inch MOA coin right there. 4 shots in there nicely, and then if we go center to center, we're just over an inch center to center with that one little flyer. So at 20 yards, that is good, and that makes me feel a lot better about this gun, because let me tell you what, I was getting ready to turn it into firewood. So anyway, let's wrap this up and take it out. I think we're going to take this out to 25 or 30, and let's see what we can do there. All right, guys, we're going 30 yards away with the JSB. These are the 14.35s, 30 yards. Not sure what kind of group we're going to get, but we're going to go for it just to see what we can get at 30 yards. And then after I see what I get there, I'm probably going to zero this thing at about 25 yards just to be on the safe side. But let's see what we can do at 30 yards with this thing. 6 pumps. There's open sights, by the way, too. Just going for groups right now. The way I'm shooting this is almost like a red dot. I'm literally using the front glow sight as a dot and covering my target just for accuracy. That's 2. I can't, it literally can't even see the dot. Come on, baby. Do me justice. Do me justice. Four. Level. Too low, too high. Come on. All right, let's go get that and see. It's not great, but it's not horrible compared to what I have been getting. So let's go get it. All right, guys, this is what we got. 30 yards with those JSBs. They're all kind of in a line right here. I'm literally, I can't see this. This whole thing's kind of obscured when I'm shooting. So I'm trying to just hold into the center. This is my coin. I will put it up here as well so you guys can see it. It's about a 2-inch group. Like that covers that and that covers this. So we're looking about a 2-inch group at 30 yards with this. But it's open sights. It's using this Williams peep sight, which I actually think sucks. And I've used a lot of peep sight type guns in my life, but I got to tell you that I do not like this sight. People rave about it, whatever, because you can do this. I'm not impressed with it. But that's what we got with that. I think I'm going to shoot a 30-yard group with the RWS just to see what we get as well. So let's do that, and then let's wrap this video up. All right, guys, we're going to shoot a 30-yard group with these RWS Superdomes right there. Just because I want to see how it groups at 30 yards. Just out of curiosity. Nothing else. The JSB seem to be a little bit better, but who knows? Again, 6 pumps. And like I said, I'm kind of using this like a red dot. I'm like using the whole front sight to cover the target. Because I can't see it anyway, because the glow actually takes away from the target. So... just trying to hold in the center, put the dot in the center. See what we get. That one's low. But again, we're just shooting for groups. Just to see what we get. So hopefully you just have an idea. Always keep forgetting the safety. Tuba. It's not terrible. You can stay in that area. Three. Alright, not doing bad considering this is open sights at 30 yards with a sight that I do not like. You can take the safety off. Okay. Huh. Interesting. It's actually not bad. Let's go check that out. All right, guys. Well, the RWS Superdomes, look at that. That's these bad boys. Superdomes. See if you guys can see that. Try to turn that right. All right, there you go. But 4 out of 5, man. About an inch group. And I'll put it up in the corner for you guys like I always do. That's like an inch group, 4 out of 5 with that one flyer, which seems to be what you get with these guns. It's about an 1.5 inch group with the flyer. But honestly, that is promising. That is promising to get 4 out of 5 in there. You're going to get a flyer with these things. This isn't a high-end gun and by no means. But that's a nice group at 30 yards with open sights with this thing. So now I'm okay with the fact that I bought it. So I think what I'm going to end up doing is zeroing this thing at about 25 yards. and going with that. And then maybe I'll shoot some steels for you guys. Let me try to get it zeroed in real quick at 25. Maybe with this RWS's, and see what we get. So let's do that. Shoot a couple steels for you guys, and then wrap it up. All right, guys, I'm gonna do a couple quick steel targets for you guys. I'm gonna do a squirrel, probably a prairie dog, and maybe a couple spinners. We'll see. I think I got this zero good enough to make this happen. So let's see. Let me laze my squirrel real quick. He's usually like 17 yards from this table, so. Yeah, we're getting about 17, I think. So I think I'm hitting a dang branch here. So let me get out here a little bit. Yeah, he's at 17. So 17 yards for this guy. 6 pumps. You guys can see it. It's hard for me to see. It's getting kind of dark back there, but I can't see it. Like when I'm shooting, I can't see it. It's like dark. It looks light in the thing. But let's do that again. 6 pumps. I'm kind of rushing my shot. Trying to get through this before it gets too dark on you guys. But I just want to show you what this gun can do. Now I just shot this off camera and I tore it up, and now I can't do it. So let's start this over. We're trying to get this sucker. We're gonna shoot the squirrel. 6 pumps. See if I can get him. There he is, he's down. All right. So we're gonna try to put it back up. I was rushing my shot. I apologize, guys. But it's getting dark out there because there's so much tree cover. I can't see. I literally can't see what I'm aiming at. I'm just kind of Kentucky winding it as best I can. I mean, I can't see. Like, you guys can see it in the target, but I can't see that. It's so dark. So this is not going out the way I thought it would. There we go. All right. So that's one. Oh, man. Seriously? Like, seriously? I hate it when things fall off my table. At least the tins didn't open up that time. Crazy. Anyway, let's try to do some spinners here. A little bit closer. Maybe I can see those guys a little bit better. Let's put this spinner rack in there. Spinner rack's at about 15, I think. Let's shoot a couple of those. Just because I like doing the steel targets for you guys. I think they're fun. So steels are at 14. I can't remember if I put a pellet in there or not. Let's see. I did. Always better to do that than double feed it. So let's do this again. 6, 14 yards. Let's see what we can do here. It's so hard to see these guys. There's one. Dude, it's so dark looking through that peep sight. You have no idea. Let's see what we can do here. Well, I hit it, but it didn't go up. Let's try that again. Damn, I cannot see. There we go. There's 2. Once you go through that peep sight, it all just disappears. One more. All right, let's see if we can knock them down. All right, there we go. I think that's all I'm gonna do. So let's wrap this video up. All right, everybody. So let's wrap this video up. You guys saw the accuracy I got with these two pellets right here. Happened to be the best, but you see, I tested all of these pellets. I didn't show you guys testing those because it was just crazy. The pellets were all over the place. So all these, this is JSB 15.89s, 1813s, the Hades, the 15.89s, and FX. These are the field target trophies in the 14.66, and then your standard Crosmans, and they all shot horribly except for the Hades. The Hades did okay. I might do some more testing with them, but man, just the out-of-the-box accuracy with that was just horrible. So I had to actually order these RWS pellets and these JSB Jumbo Expresses, and in the end I went with the Super Domes. Getting really good groups with those now, so I'm pretty happy with the Super Domes. So I think I'm going to stick with those and order a bunch more of those. I am going to keep these JSBs on hand just in case because they did do fairly well. But the RWS Super Domes did so much better out at 30 yards with the open sights. Now, as far as this gun goes, my stock came really nice. It's not beat up. It's going to get some scuffs and scratches on it because I'm actually going to shoot it. The fit and finish on mine was not bad, other than, and if you guys can see, which I think I showed in the beginning of the video, you can see right here where it's a little off right there, where the joint is, and then if you look here, where that's at, I don't know if you guys can see that either, but it hangs out a little bit right there, which I don't care. It doesn't, it's like it doesn't close quite flush, and then, you know, other than that, that's the only, like, if you're going to have a pet peeve as far as the fit and finish of the gun would be a pet peeve. It's not a pet peeve for me because the gun still, it closes fine and it feels fine and blah, 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 blah and stuff. But a couple things I will say. I don't know why people think that Williams peep sight is so great because in darker conditions, it sucks balls. Unless you got extremely bright light going on and stuff, that Williams peep sight is crap and you're probably going to be better off running a scope on this thing. Now, I was able to get it to work and do real well because I like shooting with open sights, and I shoot this kind of like a red dot. And what I mean is that I take this glow sight and I put that dot and I cover whatever I'm aiming at, and that's how I shoot it. I don't hold it under like you normally would with most peep sight things. I literally cover it and use it like a red dot sight because it's the only way I can really see what I'm doing, because when I'm looking through in the woods and I got light out in this area and I'm looking in the dark, that peep sight glows so much that it actually detracts from me actually seeing the target. I don't know how to, there's no way I can show you in a camera to show you what I'm talking about, but just know that like when I was shooting there at the end and shooting steel targets, every time I'd look through the peep sight, once I'd look in there, because it's dark out here because I got all this canopy of trees, I couldn't literally see the target. I was just covering it with that front glow sight, covering up my target. So like here's my perfect example. I can do it right here to explain. So this is what I'm doing. This coin is my sight. This is my target. I'm taking the coin and just covering it in the center like that, covering what I'm aiming at, and that's how I'm shooting this gun. Not under it. Like normally you'd put your sight under here and then you'd go center, but I'm not doing that. I'm covering it like that, just so you guys understand how I'm shooting this thing. And I shoot it better that way, just because the sight throws me off. And I've shot tons of firearms with peep sights, and I actually like peep sights, but I don't know why people think this is. And then adjusting this thing, pain in the ass. Total pain in the ass. I mean, it has these micro adjustments, but instead of clicks, you undo it, and then it gets really loose. Like you have to barely undo it, and you try to move it, and it's very hard to get those micro adjustments the way this thing is designed. I don't know why people think this sight's so great. I personally think it sucks. All right, I personally think it sucks, and they could have do something way better than what they've got on here. I don't know why they think this thing is so great, because I actually like peep sights, but on this gun, not a fan. Probably going to end up putting a scope on it just because I think you can get better accuracy out of it than what I'm getting right now. But I am happy with what I'm getting with the sight now, because I kind of want to keep it without a scope. That's the whole point of kind of buying this gun, is to have a pump that I don't have to put a scope on. Now, with that being said, it really sucks that you have to go through all these tins of pellets. And I'm trying to save you guys some serious trouble when I talk about these pellets, because I had to go through all these tins. And if you guys watched Ted Holdover's video, he went through like 30 bins of pellets, and he narrowed it down to these, which I understand why, because these actually did really good. And then I watched Air Guns of Alaska, watch his channel, and he was shooting the RWSs, so that's why I bought these two. And in the end, I kind of liked the way the RWSs did, because you saw the RWSs shot a way tighter group out at 30 yards, and so I was happier with those, and so that's what's going to do it. Now, your gun can be different. I mean, every air rifle is different, so the pellets that I'm using may not work, but from what I've seen just through watching videos, that it's these JSB Jumbo Express in the 14.35s, and these RWSs seem to be getting the best accuracy out of this gun with the other people. So what I did when I was looking to try to research is I decided whichever pellets seem the most consistent with the people that I follow, that I'm following, watching and stuff, I'm going to pick up those tins and try those. And that's kind of what I did. And in the consistency, it was kind of between these RWS and these JSBs, and so that's why I went ahead and bought those two, because I keep all these down here. I have all these in stock all the time, but I didn't have these because usually pellets like these don't work in my guns. You know, usually this group right here is what works in every gun I own until now. And that's why you have to test pellets. I mean, it's crazy, and it kind of sucks that you have to do it, but I mean, that's why you have to test pellets. Because I tell you, this gun, when the first day I shot it and I didn't film it, I was so frustrated because I couldn't get a group to shoot like I shot with these guys to save my life. It was literally like I was shooting a shotgun with birdshot out there with these pellets. And so I understand why I've seen a couple guys that tried a bunch of different pellets they had in stock, and none of them worked, but they actually didn't have these in stock. So I'm going to tell you guys right now, this is a warning to the wise. You're going to have to test this gun to find a pellet. And so, like I said, the RWS, these are the RWS Superdome Field Line pellets. These are in the 14.5 grain. Show you guys the tin one more time so you guys know what to go look for. And then I'm going to show you these JSBs right here. These are the JSBs. Those are the only two that I found out of 8 different pellets, those are the only 2 that do decent and shoot well in this gun. All the rest of them, terrible. Just god awful. So you are going to have some frustration if you don't have a whole bunch of pellets in stock to find out which one works. And I can tell you right now, I can see why guys are frustrated, especially the average guy thinks they're going to get a cool little pump rifle, and then they get out there and they have some Crosmans or something like that, and they're just shooting all over the place and stuff, you know. And so that's pretty much what I got to say about the pellets. The pellet thing is very frustrating until you find the right pellet, but obviously you can find a pellet that will work, because I finally did it, and man, it was days of shooting, days and hours of shooting to finally get a pellet that shoots well, you know, out to 30 yards. Because for me, this is a 30 yard or less gun. I mean, you might be able to shoot 40 or 50, but for me, and you know, a gun like this, if it shoots 30 yards or less and I can shoot and hunt game with it, that's what I want it for and stuff. And so as long as it's getting decent groups, if I can get that 4 out of 5 in that 1-inch coin, which we accomplished today with the RWSs, we accomplished it today, 4 out of 5 underneath that coin, then I'm happy with the gun. And so I'm very happy, because I'm going to tell you what, I was contemplating sending this gun back. And oh yeah, this number, I don't know if I said it in the beginning, but this is number 1213 out of 2023. So this is 1213 is what my number is, just so you guys know. And I don't know, let's run you guys the stock by here again so you can kind of see it. My stock actually came out pretty nice. Doesn't have any of those really bad burn marks or scuff marks. It's very smooth. It doesn't have rough spots on it, which I've seen. So there's been some serious QC issues with that as well. So it's like hit and miss when it comes to the stocks, you know. So, but I'm so glad that I finally found a pellet that works in this gun, because I was like, if this thing ends up being a wall hanger, I'm going to be pissed. Now, I did get it for $100 off. Like I said, I got it for $279 because they knocked $100 off. They originally were $399. They have it down to $299 on Pyramid Air, and I had some bullseye bucks, so I was able to knock another 20 off of that. So that was the only reason why I decided to buy it, because I just think this is expensive. Now, my final thoughts on, do I think this gun is worth buying? If you guys are into collecting and you want a 100-year anniversary gun, then, and at the price it is now, and if you got some bullseye bucks that you can use from Pyramid Air, and you can knock it down cheaper, then it's not a bad gun. I mean, the stock is beautiful on this. The stock is gorgeous. I'm glad I got one that has a beautiful stock on it. I'm getting the accuracy I want out of it. So as far as the price it is now, I still think it's too high. I still think it's too high. But if you want the 100-year anniversary Crosman, and you want a decent gun that is going to end up holding its value down the road for no other reason than it will hold its value because it's the 100-year anniversary and it is a limited number, then sure. But I am going to say there's a lot of other guns out there that are way better, and for a little bit more money, you will be a lot happier and a lot less frustrated. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you a couple guns that are a little bit more expensive but way better and way more worth the price, and you will save yourself a lot of frustration. You won't have to go through 8 tins of pellets to find a pellet that actually works in them, because there's several different pellets that do work in them, and I think you'd be a lot happier in the long run with those. So let's cut to those. I got to go get them, so I'm going to cut the screen. I'm going to bring them back and put them on here, and then we're going to wrap it up. All right, guys, so I'm going to show you guys some guns that I would recommend over the Crosman 362, hands down, and even a Crosman that I have laying on the table. So I got Virock here, a Virock here, and I got a Crosman right there. So let's talk. This is the Virock HW50S. This is in 177 caliber. This gun is about $400, and I'm running a Hawk 4x32 on it. And this gun, hands down, is an amazing driver. Tack driver at 40 and 50 yards, man. You will put pellet on pellet with this gun. German engineering. This thing is something that you'll hand down to your son, he'll hand down to his son, and hand down to his son. This will be handed down to grandsons for years, for years to come, and will last, and as accurate as can be. Very easy to shoot. They're not as critical to shoot as you think. And this gun right here will smoke that Crosman 362 all day long. This comes in 177, 22 caliber, and 25 caliber, and you will be way happier with this than that Crosman, I promise you. And that's just my opinion, but I'm gonna tell you what, Virock knocks it out of the park. And this HW50S is an amazing gun. I have videos on this gun. Go check them out. And I would recommend this over that any day for the money, because you're talking, it was $399 when it first came out, and that was what you can get one of these for, hands down. Now it's $300, but still, for $100 more, you get a way better rifle that you're gonna be way happier with. You're not gonna have to go through 8 tins of pellets to find a pellet that works for them. The JSBs work great in this gun. The FXs work great in this gun. The air arms do good in them. I mean, there's a lot of different pellets that work great in this gun, and you will be a lot happier for the price. But let's talk about this one right here. Let's take this one off. Let's put this one right here. This is the Virock HW30S. You can get it in 177, 22, and 25 caliber, I believe, as well. This one is $379. Same thing, Hawk 4x32 AO scope on this. This thing is a tack driver. This one is in 22 caliber. I use this one as a 30 yard or less one. It will shoot very accurately at 40 yards, but you guys can check out my videos on this shooting at 30 yards. This thing will stack pellet on pellet. 1-inch groups all day long, all 5 pellets in a 1-inch group all day long. 1-inch MOA group, that is. Both these Virocks, hands down, will do that. So for $79 more, you could have this amazing air rifle. The iron sights on these, both of these guns, the iron sights on these are the kind of iron sights that need to be on that Crosman, which I set over there right now. But it would work way better, and I would be way happier with it if they had these kind of iron sights that this gun has over the ones they put on that gun, and it wouldn't cost them any more to do it. So those are the two higher end ones, because we're talking about price point. There are other ones out there. There's Gambos out there and stuff, but I'm not getting that. We're talking about for the price, what you were paying for that. These two right here, the Virock HW58S, Virock HW30S, way better guns, way better. I mean, hands down. I mean, just, that Crosman is crap compared to one of these Virocks, and I'll say that all day long, and I guarantee everybody else will agree with me with that. These are way better guns, and I would recommend one of these over that Crosman any day, unless you absolutely have to have the 100-year anniversary with the wood stock. Then go buy it, because it's not a bad gun. I'm not saying it's a bad gun. I'm just saying there's way better options that you'll be way happier with in the long run. Now, I brought this one out. If you absolutely have to have a 100-year anniversary, this is the 100-year anniversary. What is this? The 21? I forget what one is this. This is the Legacy 1000. Sorry, this is the Legacy 1000 anniversary edition one. Now this one is got the wood stock, it's plasticky and all that stuff. But I'm gonna tell you what, go watch the video I did on this one. This one at 20 yards did 4 out of 5 all day long at 20 yards, and it wasn't that pellet picky. Now this one's in a 177, but I was able to take my regular 8.4 JSBs and do 4 out of 5 in a 1-inch group at 20 yards with this, with open sights all day long, and was happy as can be with this. This one, I took this out and shot it and had no problems. Was not frustrated with this gun at all. And it did real well. The only thing I don't like about this gun is the loading port sucks. The loading port sucks. But if you want an anniversary, you don't want to dump the bank, and you want something that's going to shoot accurately at 20 yards, that you can still take out some pests in yard, I would spend the 50 or 60, it's $55 or $60 for this before I spent $300 on that. And that's just my opinion. So let's wrap this up and get this done and wrap this video up and give you guys my final thoughts. All right, guys, so I'm going to give you my final thoughts on this thing. So now that I've given you guys some other options that I think are way better and you'll be way happier with and stuff, let's wrap this sucker up. In conclusion, with this gun, I don't hate it. And now that I found a pellet that it actually shoots, I'm happy, and I'm glad that I found a pellet that shoots, so I don't now regret buying it. But I still feel wonky about it, because I honestly, I was looking at some at Keystone Air Guns, and was looking at I can't remember what that gun's called, but they have a gun that they sell, and I was looking at that, and for the same price, I could have bought that, and I chose to do this instead. And I do regret buying this one over that, because I think that brake barrel that they have, I can't remember the name of that. Does anybody remember? I'll post it. But I would rather have bought the brake barrel over this gun. Now that I have a pellet for it and it's shooting decent, you know, I'm fine with having it and stuff. But I will tell you, this gun was very frustrating to find those pellets. And you guys know that's the name of the game. You got to find a pellet that your gun likes. This gun is the pickiest pellet gun I've ever shot out of all the ones that I have currently. This one is so picky, I couldn't believe it. This is the most pellets I've had to go through to find a pellet that would work in this gun. So, I say, I will tell you guys right now, I don't waste your money. Unless you absolutely have to have this 100-year anniversary as in your collection, then do it. Then get it. If you have to have it because you want to have it because it's collectible and it's the 100-year and stuff, then do it. You know, especially at the price now, it's not horrible to have. But this gun is going to cause a lot of frustration. And I have the cheaper, the Legacy 1000 one there. That was a lot of fun to shoot. I actually enjoyed shooting that one. I enjoyed shooting that one over shooting this one, the more expensive one. And now I've got a pellet that works in it. But I actually like this. This has the sights. This has that glow sight, but it has the split sight here on the back, and that is way better. I can shoot it better than this, and I can shoot peep sights just fine. I don't know, that Williams peep sight is just frustrating. So, in conclusion, I'm not gonna say I recommend this gun, because it's frustrating. And for those guys that are just starting out, I can see the videos that I've seen where guys are totally frustrated with this gun. I understand it. The videos I've seen with guys that shoot air rifles a lot, that know what to do, then I get that too. So if you're an experienced air gunner, great. If you want a nice gun that has a nice walnut stock and stuff, and it does shoot well, as you guys saw, then, you know, sure. But this is not something I'm going to recommend to people. I can't do it. I just can't do it. It was a lot of frustration in it. I finally found a pellet that does it, but you know, that's my thoughts on it. That's my honest thoughts on it. You know, I mean, if you absolutely have to have the 100-year anniversary, then sure. It doesn't shoot bad now that I finally found a pellet that works for it. But this isn't going to be one of the ones that I recommend. I gave you guys my recommendations, which was the Virocs. The Viroc HW30S, the Viroc HW50S, or even the Beeman R7 or the Beeman R9. The R9 is way more, so the R7 is still in this price range. So the Beeman R7, the Viroc HW30S, or the Viroc HW50S would be a way better gun. I'm not saying this thing sucks, okay? So let's pump the brakes. I'm not saying this thing is bad. It's doing decent now, but it's not as good as I think it should be, hands down. I think it should shoot a lot better. I don't think you should have to go through that many pellets with this gun. I mean, what's crazy thing to me is Crosman makes air rifles and they make pellets, but they don't make pellets that work in their guns. most of the time the Crosmans don't do good. You usually have to go to something else. So anyway, excuse me, that's my thoughts on it. It's getting dark out here. I'm going to get inside and make some dinner. You guys tell me what you guys think about this. I mean, there's a lot of back and forth. The quality control on these have been hit and miss as well with these guns. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. But this is my honest review, and this is how I feel about this gun. I'm going to keep it. I'm going to keep shooting it. Now that I found the RWS pellets, I think it'll be fine. But I'm going to go back to buying, you know, I'm going to go back to my brake barrels and stuff. This gun did not impress me. It didn't impress me. Other people talk about it, and it doesn't impress me. It doesn't impress me at all. It's okay. To me, it's all right. It does okay, but it's not as impressive as I was hoping it was going to be. But that's just me. That's my opinion. You know, you guys have your opinions, and that's how I feel about it. So that's all I got for you guys. I will. I don't have any links for these because, well, maybe I do. If I have any links for these, if I have a link for this for Amazon, I will put it down below. Leave your questions and comments down there. I'll try to answer them to the best of my ability. Hopefully, this helps some of you guys out in making a decision about this thing. And just, you guys know what to do. Hit those buttons that you need to help support the channel. And just, you know, I will, you know, see you guys on the next video. And I appreciate all your support. So you guys take care until the next one.